Hello, Instagram Live. Welcome to Mondays with Mori, with me, Mori Yelvington. I'm so honored that you're here. And if this is the first time watching me live, welcome to my world. I'm really excited that you're here. I want to share with you some awareness points today. So if this is the first time you're watching me, welcome. I tend to share some information that comes through for you and to bring some awareness to places that maybe you're feeling stuck. So last week's live, I was sharing with you about the story of Passover, the story of Exodus. And I wanted to kind of add a little bit to that story because I feel like there's a little bit more pieces that can really add some aha moments for you. And if you don't know this story, it's actually a really great story. I invite you to kind of dive into it and learn a little bit more. But if you do, I'm going to bring some awareness to a few points. So when the Jews were slaves in Egypt, there was a son, a boy named a boy named Moses. And God showed up to him and asked him to lead the Israelites out of Egypt and take them to the promised land, lead them to Israel. And when Moses was approached by God, he had a speech impediment and he couldn't really speak well. And he said, how me, where I can barely speak. I don't have the confidence. How am I going to, lead these people out of this situation into the promised land? How am I going to do that? So there was a lot of insecurities. And God said, if I chose you for a reason. I chose you to lead the people. And so he ends up going to the Pharaoh. And he says to the Pharaoh, these people, they're God's people. You need to let them go. And Pharaoh says, no way, I'm not letting them go. It's not going to happen. And Moses says, okay, but our Almighty God, he is going to revenge on your people and on you. Do you really want to take that risk? And the Pharaoh's like, yeah, bring it. There's nobody more powerful than me, right? And so what ends up happening for the next 10 days, God punishes and sends plague after plague after plague to kind of tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And so the first plague is blood, right? They wake up in the morning and there's blood in their water, blood in their shower, blood in the river. There's blood everywhere and everybody's freaking out. So Moses goes to the Pharaoh and he says to him, hey, you see how mighty my God is? Let my people go. And he says to him, blood, I can survive blood. Blood is nothing. Bring on the blood. No, I'm not releasing them. And so the next day he sends frogs, and there's frogs everywhere, up and down and all around and in their mouth and in their food and their clothes. And Moses comes back to the Pharaoh and he says, hey, Pharaoh, let my people go. And he says, no, I'm not letting them go. Frogs, I'm going to send them over frogs. Are you kidding me? That's never going to happen. And so the next plague comes, and slowly by slowly, every single day, God sends these warning signals. And they just get worse and worse and worse until the last plague ends up being the plague that kills all the firstborn sons. And that plague, the Pharaoh's son dies. And so when this happens, he says to Moses, take all your stuff and leave now. Don't ever come back. And then they pack their stuff, they pack their bread, and they leave. Well, I'm sharing this with you because when I was reading through this, and this is a story that we read every year for Passover, I realized that so many people deal with a situation where they're not happy with the situation and they don't want to change it and they don't want to interfere with it because they're so used to the situation that they're in. A lot of times we fear change far more than we fear staying stuck in the same situation that we're in. And a lot of times this can look like a job that you don't know if you should leave, or a relationship that you're not happy with, or a financial situation that's keeping you stuck, or you're feeling like you're not moving in the right direction. And the universe, God, gives you messages. It gives you kind of like, I like to say, like little hits on the head, like, hey, you're unhappy here. Maybe you should get out. And if we don't listen to these messages, if we don't tune in to the signs that the universe gives us, then they just get bigger and bigger. So maybe this looks like you end up getting fired. Maybe it looks like you end up being dumped. Maybe this looks like somebody's cheating on you. Maybe this looks like, a big conflict that you have with a friend or in a relationship. Maybe you lose a bunch of money on a bet or an investment. I invite you to look at situations in your life where you feel stuck, where you feel unhappy, where you feel unsatisfied, and notice along the way, what are the signs that the universe is giving you? What are the signs here to show you, hey, something here is not exactly the way I want it to be? What can you do to shift and change that? So, a lot of times I have a girlfriend, and every time she gets fired, when I talk to her about it later, I said to her, but you hated that job. You've been wanting to leave forever. The universe just kind of gave you the way out, right? What is something here that you can look at and turn it into something good? I know I say a lot, everything happens for a reason, but you can also look at it from a perspective of, what did I learn here and how can I shift it so it doesn't happen again? I truly believe that we all have our own kind of life trajectory, like a journey that we're on, a journey to get to a certain point. When it gets like it's feeling too hard, you're probably just went down the wrong path. And not that there's right or wrong, but maybe just a path that's a little more uphill. What if you could listen to the whispers of the universe? What if you could listen to your intuition? What if you could trust your knowing and have a guide to walk beside you, right? When you think about it, the Jews, they followed Moses all the way to the promised land. And yes, it took 40 years in the desert, and they had to go fully trusting after this person that could barely speak clearly to lead them to the promised land. What if you could have that support first and foremost in yourself? What if you could trust yourself and trust your knowing? And if you don't know how to get there, I would love to guide you. I would love to lead you. I've been doing this work for over 18 years, and it's amazing what happens when somebody can show you that there's an easier way to do something. It's amazing when somebody can show you, hey, this is where your blocks are. This is what you're unseeing from yourself. This is what's stopping you. This is what the fear looks like in your body. Let's remove it. Let's release it. Okay? So here's what I want you to take from all of this if you feel a little lost right now. First of all, the universe and God always have your back, no matter what. Even when it feels like it's dark and it's heavy and it's dooming, there's always a light in the end of the tunnel. It's not just a cliche, it's true. Been there, I've done that multiple times, and I can tell you that when I don't lose my faith, stuff always happens. If you're feeling like you lose your faith, reach out for help. If you've been through lots of trauma in your life, maybe you need a trauma coach. If you just need some guidance, maybe you just need a regular coach, or maybe a good friend that has information that can help you. I like to say that if you feel like everything feels like a struggle, everything feels like a battle, perhaps you just need a different way. Perhaps you just need to veer a little to the right. Maybe turn a little to the left. Find a path that feels more aligned for you. Instead of sticking to what is sticking you into place, maybe shift a little bit. And a lot of times it doesn't even have to be shifting physically. It could be shifting your mindset, looking at it from a different perspective. Play with the idea. Take time for yourself, 5 minutes a day. Ask questions to get more clear about what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want to achieve. Stop letting life lead you, and you start leading your own life. Be the Moses to your tribe. Be the leader to your life. Don't let life lead you by the hand, because you're not going to get where you want to go. And if you feel like you need more clarity and you need more support, I would love to support you and help you on your journey. I'm here, so just reach out. We could do a one-time session, get some clarity, and get you on your way. So I hope you have a beautiful Monday. The sun just appeared here after a few days of grayness, so it's beautiful outside. And I just hope you have an amazing week. If this was a contribution, please share and like it so I know that you're listening. If you want to leave a comment or a question, I would love to respond. And then just step into who you came here to be, because nobody could do that for you. Okay? Bye.